Essay 2. An Eastern Journey by Somerset Maugham. Summary. An Eastern Journey details the author's daunting excursion to Cambodia's Angkor, a revered archaeological site. The journey to Angkor involves multiple stages, from reaching Phnom Penh and taking steamers along rivers and lakes to traversing channels in a small boat, all of which contributes to the site's mystique. The moonlit landscape adds an ethereal quality as the author progresses through winding waterways. Upon nearing Angkor, the iconic towers of Angkor Wat come into view, evoking awe and anticipation. The author grapples with conveying the magnificence of Angkor's temples, struggling to encapsulate their grandeur. He acknowledges his lack of ability to translate the visual and emotional impact into words, expressing dismay at the task. The author reflects on his own limitations, admitting that despite his efforts to develop a stylish prose, he has embraced simplicity and clarity in his writing. He contrasts his style with that of authors who luxuriate in elaborate descriptions, preferring his own approach of conveying emotion rather than intricate details. The author references Henri Mouhot's Travels in Indochina, the first European account of Angkor's ruins. Mouhot's straightforward narrative, reflecting the attitudes of his era, contrasts with the complexities of modern travel. The author examines Mouhot's notes, pondering annotations that correct errors and inconsistencies. Despite the scrutiny, the author respects Mouhot's endeavor and the authenticity of his observations. The author's encounter with Angkor Wat's awe-inspiring ruins, focusing on its transformation and the emotions it evokes. Descriptions of Angkor Wat's grandeur emerge through its architecture, as it presents a fascinating contrast between the respectability of the author's frock-coated appearance and the dashing, ferocious demeanor he projects while wearing a beret. The author ponders the initial grandeur of Angkor Wat, contrasting it with the ruins now visited by tourists. The jungle-clad ruins evoke a sense of nature's dominance over human creation, with vegetation overtaking the once magnificent structures. The author vividly recounts a storm during his temple visit, where nature's power asserts itself, emphasizing its overwhelming strength. The author delves into Angkor's history as a thriving city, discussing its sudden abandonment and potential causes, including a slave uprising. Angkor Wat's unique positioning allows it to capture the sunrise and sunset, transforming it into an ethereal sight. The temple's design reflects deliberate formality and reverence, emphasized by the steep steps leading to different stories and sunken basins for purification. The narrative also illustrates the temple's present-day occupancy by bats, portraying it as a site of emptiness yet evoking a sense of silent reverence. The architectural and artistic features of the Angkor temples, focusing on the evolution of their decoration and the emotions they evoke. The temple's plain construction provided sculptors with ample room for decoration. Capitals, pilasters, pediments, doorways, and windows are intricately carved with diverse patterns. Over the centuries, craftsmen progressed from crude strength to consummate grace in their ornamentation. Bas-reliefs adorn the galleries, depicting princes on elephants, soldiers in battle, and chieftains on chariots. The reliefs display a transition from unbridled action to harmonious design. The sculptures encompass themes of action and turmoil rather than elegance. Despite variations, the sculptor's work mostly adheres to similar patterns. The author ponders why humans often accept mediocrity after experiencing excellence, and whether man is inherently inclined to revert to a lower state of civilization. The narrative concludes with the author's poignant departure from Angkor, experiencing renewed beauty in familiar sights and perceiving a profound silence enveloping the once thriving city, now surrounded by vibrant jungle. The author recounts a night at the Angkor temple where Cambodian dancers performed amidst torchlight. The dancers wore vibrant dresses and elaborate crowns, executing formal and hieratic movements reminiscent of ancient sculptures found on temple walls. The spectacle evoked a sense of timelessness and ancestry. The author reflects on the Baen Temple, a multi-towered structure adorned with colossal faces of Siva. This unique temple is covered in overgrown vegetation, and the faces create an eerie, watchful atmosphere. The temple's bas-reliefs depict scenes from daily life in ancient times, emphasizing the unchanging nature of local traditions and activities. The author concludes that in Eastern countries, the most impressive testament to antiquity is not grand architecture but the perpetuation of age-old customs among the peasants, linking them to a past older than monumental landmarks like Angkor Wat or the Great Wall. A. Multiple choice questions. 1. The Angkor site once was A. Buddhist shrine, B. Hindu shrine, C. Both Hindu and Buddhist shrine, D. Muslim shrine. 2. Angkor Wat is now one of the UNESCO enlisted heritages. A. Cultural, B. Natural, C. Social, D. Military. 3. Henry Mouhot was A. An English explorer, B. A French naturalist, C. A religious guru, D. An Indian priest. 4. In Hinduism, Shiva is the symbol of A. Creator, B. Conserver, C. Destroyer, D. None of above. 5. According to the author, the most awe-inspiring monument of the antiquity is A. Angkor Wat, B. Pyramid of Egypt, C. Man, D. The Great Wall of China. Extra MCQs. 1. What is the main focus of the text, An Eastern Journey? A. Ancient civilizations, B. Modern travel experiences, C. Cambodian cuisine, D. European history. 2. How does the author describe the journey to Angkor? Angkor. A. Easy and comfortable, B. Challenging and mystical, C. Quick and efficient, D. Mundane and uneventful. 3. What contributes to the mystique of Angkor? A. Elaborate descriptions, B. Moonlit landscapes, C. Modern travel complexities, D. Simplistic architecture. 4. How does the author feel about conveying the magnificence of Angkor's temples? A. Confident and eager, B. Successful and accomplished, C. Excited and adventurous, D. Struggling and dismayed. 5. The author contrasts his writing style with that of other authors who A. Convey emotion, B. Use elaborate descriptions, C. Write in a straightforward manner, D. Prefer modern travel experiences. 6. Henri Mouhot's Travels in Indochina is described as A. A modern travel guide, B. A fictional novel, C. The first European account of Angkor's ruins, D. A cookbook about Cambodian cuisine. 7. How does the author view Mouhot's observations and notes about Angkor? A. Critical and dismissive, B. Skeptical and doubtful, C. Respectful and authentic, D. Negative and biased. 8. What does the author compare his appearance in a frock coat to? A. A fashionable trendsetter, B. A daring explorer, C. A romantic figure, D. A respectable figure. 9. What does the author experience during a storm at the temple? A. Calm and serenity, B. A sense of insignificance, C. Joy and excitement, D. Discomfort and disappointment. 10. What does the author feel about the grandeur of Angkor's ruins? A. He is indifferent, B. He is disappointed, C. He is awed, D. He is critical. 11. What contrast does the author make in describing Angkor Wat? A. The grandeur of the architecture and the beauty of the surroundings, B. The power of nature and the fragility of human creation, C. The serenity of the temples and the chaos of the jungle, D. The history of the site and the mysteries it holds. 12. What is the significance of the Bayadère's gestures and attitudes? A. They showcase elegance and refinement, B. They express harmony and beauty, C. They reflect unbridled action and turmoil, D. They convey simplicity and clarity. 13. What is the main focus of the bas-reliefs in the Angkor temples? A. Scenes from modern life. B. Intricate patterns and designs. C. Daily activities of ancient times. D. Abstract forms and shapes. 14. What does the author ponder about humans' acceptance of mediocrity? A. Why excellence is always achievable. B. Why humans prefer complexity over simplicity. C. Why individuals settle for less after experiencing greatness. D. Why people choose to remain in their comfort zones. 15. According to the author, what is the most impressive testament to antiquity in Eastern countries? A. Grand architecture. B. Elaborate artwork. C. Ancient temples. D. Perpetuated customs among peasants. 16. What emotions do the Cambodian dancers' performances evoke in the author? A. Confusion and uncertainty. B. Awe and anticipation. C. Boredom and indifference. D. Fear and unease. 17. What distinguishes the Baen temple from other temples? A. Its simple design. B. Its lack of decoration. C. Its multi-towered structure. D. Its small size. 18. What emotion do the colossal faces of Siva evoke in the Baen temple? A. Comfort and warmth. B. Eerie and watchfulness. C. Excitement and joy. D. Awe and inspiration. 19. What is the main theme of the bas-reliefs in the Baen temple? A. Mythical creatures and gods. B. Scenes of daily life. C. Abstract patterns. D. Battles and wars. 20. What does the author conclude about the peasants in Eastern countries? A. They prefer modern architecture over traditional customs. B. They are indifferent to their cultural heritage. C. They maintain age-old customs despite changing times. D. They prioritize grand landmarks like the Great Wall. B. Short questions. Questions. 1. According to the author, why was it difficult to get to Angkor? According to the author, the journey to Angkor was a multi-stage endeavor characterized by its complexity and mystique. To reach the revered archaeological site, one needed to navigate a series of challenging steps that contributed to the daunting nature of the excursion. Beginning with the arrival in Phnom Penh, the journey involved embarking on steamers that traversed rivers and lakes, creating an air of intrigue. The progression continued through channels on a small boat, adding to the sense of mystique that surrounded Angkor. The moonlit landscape heightened the ethereal quality of the journey as the author moved through winding waterways. The anticipation built as the iconic towers of Angkor Wat came into view, evoking a sense of awe. Thus, the multifaceted nature of the journey, from the initial arrival to the final approach, contributed to the challenging and captivating experience of reaching Angkor. The journey to Angkor was intricate and captivating, involving stages like arriving in Phnom Penh and embarking on steamers across rivers and lakes. Progressing through water channels on a small boat added mystique. Moonlit landscapes heightened the ethereal journey, leading to awe-inspiring views of Angkor Wat's iconic towers. 2. How does the author describe the wonder of Angkor? The author grapples with conveying the sheer wonder of Angkor's temples, struggling to encapsulate their grandeur within words. He admits his inability to translate their visual and emotional impact effectively, expressing dismay at the daunting task. The author reflects on his limitations, acknowledging his preference for simplicity and clarity over elaborate descriptions. He contrasts his style with authors who indulge in intricate details, stating his focus on evoking emotion. The author references Henri Mouhot's early European account of Angkor's ruins, noting the contrast between his straightforward narrative and the complexities of modern travel. Mouhot's observations from a different era reveal the authenticity of the site. The author emphasizes the impact of Angkor Wat's transformation, describing the contrast between his respectable appearance in a frock coat and the fierce demeanor projected while wearing a beret. The site's present state, surrounded by jungle-clad ruins, signifies nature's dominance over human creation. The author also recounts a storm during his visit, underscoring nature's overwhelming power in the temple's presence. 3. Why does the author bring reference of Ruskin, 19th century English art critic, Walter Pater, and Sir Thomas Browne? The author references Ruskin, Walter Pater, and Sir Thomas Browne to illustrate the challenges of describing the wonder of Angkor's temples. By invoking these figures, known for their eloquent and elaborate prose, the author contrasts their approach with his own. Ruskin, a 19th century English art critic, and Pater, a writer known for his aestheticism, were masters of detailed descriptions. The author contrasts their style with his own preference for conveying emotions over intricate details. Additionally, the reference to Sir Thomas Browne, a 17th century writer, highlights the enduring struggle of capturing profound experiences in words. These references emphasize the author's humility in acknowledging his limitations in describing Angkor's magnificence, leading him to embrace simplicity and clarity in his writing style, to evoke the essence of the site rather than dwelling on ornate descriptions. The author cites Ruskin, Pater, and Browne to show the challenge of describing Angkor. These writers' intricate prose is compared to the author's preference for emotive over detailed descriptions. This highlights his humility in recognizing his inability to capture Angkor's grandeur. The references emphasize his shift to a simpler, clearer style to convey the site's essence. 4. How does the author defend his writing style? The author defends his writing style by acknowledging the limitations of language in capturing the magnificence of Angkor's temples. He contrasts his approach with that of writers like Ruskin, Pater, and Browne, who indulge in elaborate descriptions. The author contends that while their prose might be a feast for the senses, it often obscures the emotional essence of the experience. He cites their tendency to describe the surface beauty while missing the deeper resonance that the temples evoke. The author explains that his preference for simplicity and clarity allows him to delve into the emotions the site stirs within him. He argues that by avoiding ornate descriptions, he can better convey the awe, reverence, and wonder that Angkor's grandeur evokes. His intention is not to merely paint a picturesque scene but to bridge the gap between the visual and emotional impact, enabling readers to feel the significance of Angkor on a profound level. He believes that his style ensures a more authentic portrayal of his emotions and experiences, thus defending his approach as more genuine and relatable. 5. Why does the author think the description made by French naturalists did not do justice to Angkor's grandeur? The author believes that the description of Angkor's grandeur provided by French naturalist Henri Mouhot fell short of capturing its true essence, due to the limitations of language and perspective. He acknowledges Mouhot's pioneering efforts in bringing Angkor to the attention of the Western world, but points out that his narrative reflected the attitudes and literary conventions of his era, which focused on objective observations rather than delving into the emotional impact of the experience. The author contends that Mouhot's straightforward and factual approach, though commendable, lacked the depth required to convey the profound emotions evoked by Angkor's temples. He argues that the splendor of Angkor goes beyond its physical attributes. It encompasses a spiritual and emotional resonance that cannot be fully conveyed through objective description alone. The author suggests that Mouhot's focus on architectural details and historical facts fails to capture the awe, reverence, and sense of timelessness that the temples inspire. Furthermore, the author implies that the complexity and intricate beauty of Angkor's architecture present a challenge for any writer to convey adequately. He empathizes with Mouhot's struggle to describe the temple's grandeur, as the sheer magnitude of their intricacies and the emotional impact they evoke transcend the confines of language. In essence, the author believes that Angkor's magnificence exceeds the descriptive capabilities of any written account, and that it can only truly be understood through a personal encounter with its awe-inspiring presence. 6. How does the author describe the beauty of Angkor ruins in the rising sun and setting sun? The author vividly describes the beauty of Angkor's ruins under the rising and setting sun, capturing the ethereal transformation that occurs during these moments. As the sun ascends in the sky, casting its warm rays upon the ancient structures, the author conveys a sense of enchantment and wonder. He notes that the sun's glow brings out the intricate details of the architecture, illuminating the stone carvings and sculptures that adorn the temples. This magical interplay of light and shadow creates a captivating spectacle, where the once mundane structures are imbued with a newfound radiance. During the setting sun, the author's prose takes on a poetic tone as he reflects on the profound beauty that envelops Angkor's ruins. He likens the experience to witnessing a miracle, as the temple's grandeur is heightened by the soft, golden light of dusk. The author's description highlights the delicate balance between the fading daylight and the emerging darkness, which imparts a sense of melancholic elegance to the scene. The setting sun casts a warm, enchanting glow that imbues the ruins with a transient, otherworldly quality, emphasizing their timeless nature. Throughout his portrayal, the author's words convey not just the visual spectacle, but also the emotional resonance of witnessing Angkor's beauty during these moments of transition. His choice of language and imagery invites readers to share in his awe and reverence, as he portrays the rising and setting sun as a divine source of illumination that breathes life into the ancient stones, invoking a sense of timelessness and spiritual significance. 7. According to the author, how did the artists render action in Art of Angkor? According to the author, the artists of Angkor masterfully captured the essence of action within their artistic depictions. He suggests that while the Greeks sought harmony and beauty in their art, the Cambodian sculptors prioritized the portrayal of action and vigor. In their carvings and reliefs, the artists conveyed a sense of dynamic movement and turmoil rather than focusing on aesthetic elegance or serene gestures. This emphasis on action is evident in the intricate detailing of scenes such as soldiers marching into battle, chieftains brandishing swords and lances, and even the frenzied contortions of the dying and the dead. The author's description implies that these artists embraced a style that emphasized the energy and passion of the depicted actions. Instead of aiming for perfect symmetry or graceful poses, they created images that conveyed the raw intensity of battle and the tumultuous nature of life. This approach allowed them to capture the essence of action in a way that resonated with the viewer's emotions, evoking a visceral response to the scenes depicted. Through the author's observations, it becomes evident that the Cambodian artists had a distinct approach to rendering action in their art, one that diverged from the more harmonious and balanced style of the Greeks. Their preference for capturing movement and intensity led to a unique visual language that conveyed the fierce vitality of the depicted actions, effectively making the scenes come alive for those who beheld their creations. 8. Why does the author compare man with water? The author compares man to water in order to explore the concept of human nature and its inherent tendencies. By likening man to water, the author delves into the idea of change and adaptability. Just as water can be forced to a higher altitude but will naturally revert to its original level once external pressure is removed, the author suggests that humans may experience periods of elevation and excellence, but tend to return to their familiar and less exceptional state over time. This comparison allows the author to contemplate the cyclic nature of human progress and regression. Furthermore, the comparison between man and water raises questions about the potential for human perfection and improvement. The author's inquiry into whether man is perfectible speaks to the desire for continuous advancement and growth. By suggesting that man may revert to a more primitive state after reaching heights of achievement, the author explores the tension between the pursuit of progress and the pull of familiar patterns. Overall, the comparison of man to water serves as a thought-provoking analogy that invites contemplation on the cyclical nature of human behavior, the pursuit of excellence, and the inherent challenges of sustaining elevated states of achievement. It allows the author to delve into the complexities of human nature and the potential factors that shape our actions and choices over time. 9. What does the author speak of the central temple? The author vividly describes the central temple of Angkor, known as Angkor Wat, as a remarkable architectural and spiritual marvel. The temple's significance lies not only in its physical form but also in its alignment with cosmic patterns, such as capturing both the sunrise and sunset. The author marvels at how this strategic alignment transforms Angkor Wat into an ethereal site, with the changing sunlight imbuing the structure with a spiritual aura that transcends the ages. The author delves into the intricate design of Angkor Wat, focusing on its deliberate formality and symbolic features. The temple's steep steps leading to various stories, and sunken basins for purification are described as elements that emphasize the temple's reverence and ceremonial significance. The author's appreciation for these design choices highlights his recognition of the temple's dual role as both a religious space and a testament to human craftsmanship. Furthermore, the author addresses the present-day state of Angkor Wat. While bats have taken occupancy within its confines, the temple remains a paradoxical site of emptiness yet carries an aura of silent reverence. This duality between vacancy and sacredness captures the profound impact of Angkor Wat, evoking a sense of contemplation about the passage of time and the continuity of human experience within its hallowed walls. 10. Why does the author think the dance a rare art? The author regards the Cambodian dance as a rare and captivating art form due to its ability to transcend time and connect with ancient traditions. The performance of the Cambodian dancers amidst the torchlight evokes a timeless quality that harks back to the cultural heritage of the past. The dance's distinctiveness lies in its ability to capture both the essence of the present moment and the echoes of generations past, making it a bridge between eras. The author's description of the dancers' costumes, elaborate crowns, and hieratic movements underscores the uniqueness of the Cambodian dance. The dancers' attire and gestures reflect a blend of historical richness and artistic refinement, creating an enigmatic and captivating visual experience. The juxtaposition of these ancient-inspired elements with the dancers' impassive expressions lends an otherworldly aura to the performance, further accentuating its rarity. The author's reference to the Baen Temple and its stone carvings depicting similar dance-like gestures further reinforces the dance's rarity. The fact that these gestures have remained virtually unchanged for centuries, etched on temple walls and embodied in the living dancers, underscores the enduring nature of this art form. The dance's capacity to evoke a sense of timelessness and connect with the cultural roots of the past solidifies its status as a rare and cherished artistic expression. 11. The author makes monologue with a philosopher. What do you think is the purpose of the monologue? The author's monologue with a philosopher serves the purpose of introspection and contemplation, allowing the author to explore deeper questions about human nature, progress, and the pursuit of excellence. Through this imagined conversation, the author engages in a dialogue with himself to ponder the complexities of human behavior, particularly the tendency to accept mediocrity after experiencing greatness. The philosopher serves as a sounding board for the author's inner thoughts, enabling him to delve into profound questions without seeking definitive answers. The monologue provides a platform for the author to question the cyclical nature of human progress, and the potential limitations of human achievement. By asking whether circumstances or individual genius elevate humanity temporarily to higher levels of excellence before reverting to a more ordinary state, the author contemplates the ebb and flow of human aspirations and the factors that shape them. This philosophical exploration delves into the psychology of contentment, and the inherent struggles individuals face in maintaining exceptional standards. Ultimately, the purpose of this monologue is to spark intellectual curiosity and encourage readers to reflect on their own lives and societal patterns. It prompts contemplation about the pursuit of greatness, and the influences that guide individuals in their journey towards improvement or, conversely, complacency. By engaging in this introspective dialogue, the author encourages readers to consider their own inclinations, motivations, and the interplay between individual potential and external circumstances in shaping human endeavors. 12. Why does the author think Baen Temple a unique temple? The author considers the Baen Temple a unique and remarkable structure due to its distinctive architectural design, and the intricate carvings that adorn it. Unlike the uniformity observed in many other temples, the Baen Temple stands out with its multitude of towers, each featuring colossal faces of Siva, the destroyer. This architectural choice of adorning the temple with these monumental faces gives the Baen Temple a captivating and enigmatic character that sets it apart from its counterparts. The author also highlights the temple's overgrown state, as it is covered with vegetation, creating an eerie and otherworldly ambience. The combination of the towering faces and the encroaching jungle contributes to the temple's uniqueness, and the sense of mystery that surrounds it. The author's description evokes a sense of being watched by these silent faces, creating an atmosphere that is both haunting and intriguing. Furthermore, the author's personal experience and reflection on the Baen Temple contribute to its uniqueness. The temple's architecture and the emotive impact it has on the author leave a lasting impression. The temple's character, its towering faces, and its integration with the natural surroundings make it a singular and captivating monument within the Angkor complex, leaving a deep sense of wonder and curiosity in the author and the readers alike. C. Long questions. 1. The author evokes two different sense images in the essay. Read the essay again and find the instances where the author has used the image of sight, sound, smell and movement. the author skillfully engages various sensory images to vividly convey the essence of the journey to Angkor, and the experience of being there. Through the sense of sight, the author paints a visual landscape that captures the reader's imagination. The moonlit landscape, winding waterways, and the iconic towers of Angkor Wat coming into view create a visual tapestry that immerses the reader in the journey's mystique. The sense of sound is invoked when the author describes the music played by hidden musicians during the Cambodian dancer's performance. The vague and rhythmical music from pipes, drums, and gongs troubles the nerves, creating an auditory experience that enhances the ambience of the night. Additionally, the author mentions the villagers breaking into loud song to ward off spirits when passing the Iri Bairn temple, providing an auditory insight into local customs. Smell is evoked through the image of torches made from resin, emitting an acrid yet pleasant perfume that charges the air. This sensory detail heightens the atmosphere of the night's dance performance, immersing the reader in the scene. The author also mentions the dampness of the jungle and the earthy scent that often accompanies such environments, adding to the sensory depth of the description. Movement is portrayed through the author's narration of the journey's stages. The steamers progressing along rivers and lakes, the small boat navigating channels, and the winding waterways all create a sense of movement that propels the reader along the journey alongside the author. Moreover, the author describes the formal and hieratic movements of the Cambodian dancers, illustrating movement as an integral part of the performance. The sensory images incorporated throughout the essay not only enrich the reader's understanding of the author's experiences, but also serve to transport them into the world of Angkor. By appealing to sight, sound, smell, and movement, the author creates a multidimensional narrative that engages the senses and immerses the reader in the sights, sounds, and emotions of the journey and the place itself. 2. The author gives ample evidences that the Angkor lies in tropical climate zone. Cite 5 such evidences from the essay. The author effectively portrays the tropical climate of Angkor through various descriptive details and imagery. These evidences not only emphasize the lush, humid environment but also contribute to the overall atmosphere of the essay. The author frequently mentions the presence of lush vegetation and jungle growth, which are characteristic of tropical climates. He describes how the jungle has overtaken the ruins, with trees, creepers, and parasitic shrubs growing all around. This imagery conveys the abundant plant life that thrives in the tropical environment. The author refers to the moonlit landscape as the backdrop for the journey to Angkor. Moonlit nights are often associated with tropical climates, where clear skies allow for ample moonlight to filter through. Additionally, the winding waterways that the author navigates to reach Angkor contribute to the portrayal of a tropical environment, as such water bodies are common in tropical regions. The author describes a storm during his visit to the temple, where nature's power is emphasized through the rain and the storm's strength. Frequent rains and storms are typical of tropical climates, with their heavy precipitation contributing to the lush growth of vegetation. The author mentions the torches carried by boys during the dance performance, made from resin that charges the air with an acrid yet pleasant perfume. This resin is derived from trees that are often found in tropical regions. Additionally, the author speaks of the dampness of the jungle and the earthy scent associated with such environments, further highlighting the tropical setting. The author observes that the present-day occupants of the temple are bats. Bats are commonly associated with tropical climates, as they thrive in warm and humid conditions. The mention of bats adds to the imagery of the environment and reinforces the notion of a tropical climate. Collectively, these evidences create a sensory-rich portrayal of the tropical climate in which Angkor is situated. The author's use of descriptive details and imagery effectively transports the reader to the lush, humid, and vibrant atmosphere that characterizes tropical regions. 3. How does the author comment on the contestation between nature and human culture? Throughout the essay, the author subtly explores the contestation between nature and human culture, particularly in the context of the Angkor ruins. This theme emerges as the author describes the relationship between the ancient structures and the encroaching jungle, shedding light on the enduring struggle between human creation and the forces of nature. Firstly, the author emphasizes the overwhelming power of nature's dominance over human creations. The once magnificent structures of Angkor have been overtaken by the relentless growth of the jungle. the author describes how the jungle-clad ruins evoke a sense of nature's conquest, with vegetation enveloping and swallowing the architecture. This imagery reflects the idea that despite the grandeur of human endeavors, nature ultimately reclaims its territory. Secondly, the author highlights the contrast between the past and the present in terms of human intervention. While the temples were once the pinnacle of human achievement, the passage of time has seen them fall into ruins. The author's mention of tourists exploring the ruins underscores the contrast between the ancient and modern, while the narrative suggests that human culture, even in its most awe-inspiring form, is susceptible to the passage of time and the encroachment of nature. Additionally, the author's vivid description of a storm during the temple visit reinforces the theme of nature's power. The storm serves as a reminder that despite human achievements, the elements remain uncontrollable and imposing. The power of the storm is emblematic of nature's relentless force, which can easily overshadow even the most remarkable human creations. Furthermore, the author's portrayal of the bas-reliefs that depict scenes of daily life in ancient times also addresses the interplay between culture and nature. These carvings depict the simple activities of the people of that era, and their persistence throughout time speaks to the endurance of certain aspects of human culture. However, the fact that these scenes are carved onto stone walls highlights the transient nature of human existence, as the solid stone itself is eroded by time and nature. At last, the author subtly comments on the contestation between nature and human culture through the juxtaposition of the ancient ruins of Angkor and the encroaching jungle. The essay conveys a sense of the ephemerality of human creations in the face of nature's relentless growth and power. This theme underscores the notion that while human culture can leave a lasting mark, nature's forces are unyielding and ultimately reclaim their dominion. 4. The author comments on Angkor. At the end of the 13th century it was one of the great cities of the East. 200 years later it was the resort of wild beasts. Elucidate. The author's comment, at the end of the 13th century it was one of the great cities of the East, 200 years later it was the resort of wild beasts, encapsulates the dramatic rise and fall of Angkor, reflecting the passage of time and the profound transformation the city underwent. At its zenith in the 13th century, Angkor was a thriving and grand metropolis, serving as the epicenter of a powerful Khmer Empire. The city was characterized by its majestic temples, sophisticated urban planning, and advanced infrastructure. It stood as a testament to human achievement, with monumental structures like Angkor Wat embodying the artistic and architectural prowess of the era. This period marked Angkor as a symbol of human ingenuity and cultural sophistication in the East. However, by the 15th century, Angkor's fortunes had drastically changed. A combination of factors, including political turmoil, invasions, and environmental challenges such as deforestation and changing river patterns, led to the city's decline. The grandeur that had once defined Angkor gave way to a state of abandonment and deterioration. As the city's population dwindled, nature began to reclaim the territory, with the encroaching jungle taking over the structures and spaces once bustling with human activity. The author's mention of Angkor becoming the resort of wild beasts signifies the profound impact of nature's resurgence. With the decline of human presence, the abandoned temples and structures of Angkor became a sanctuary for wildlife. The once imposing monuments stood in stark contrast to the untamed jungle that gradually enveloped them, creating a surreal scene where the remnants of human creation coexisted with the wild forces of nature. This transformation underscores the transitory nature of human achievements and the inevitable cycle of rise and decline. The comment serves as a poignant reminder that even the mightiest civilizations are subject to the passage of time and the influence of various forces, including political, environmental, and cultural changes. It also speaks to the resilience of nature, which reclaims and redefines spaces that humans once occupied. The author's comment on Angkor's transformation from a great city to a wilderness inhabited by wild beasts captures the rise and fall of a once thriving civilization. This narrative arc serves as a microcosm of the broader ebb and flow of human history and nature's role in shaping and reshaping the world. It stands as a testament to the impermanence of human achievements and the enduring power of nature. 5. What impression of Angkor does the writer take in his mind? Throughout the essay, the writer's impression of Angkor evolves, encompassing a range of emotions and perceptions that reflect the multifaceted nature of this ancient archaeological site. From his initial approach to his departure, the writer's impression deepens as he navigates its grandeur, history, and connection with nature. At the outset, the writer's impression of Angkor is one of anticipation and awe. The journey to reach the site involves a series of stages, each contributing to its mystique. As the iconic towers of Angkor Wat come into view, the writer experiences a sense of wonder and reverence. This initial impression is characterized by a mixture of excitement and humility, as the writer acknowledges the challenge of capturing its magnificence in words. As the writer delves into Angkor's temples, his impression becomes more complex. He grapples with the difficulty of describing their grandeur, and conveys a sense of frustration at his inability to do justice to their beauty. This frustration is juxtaposed with the simplicity and clarity he embraces in his writing, which allows him to convey emotions even if intricate details elude him. His impression evolves into a realization that Angkor's splendor is not solely found in elaborate descriptions, but also in the emotions it evokes. Furthermore, the writer's encounter with the ruins and their juxtaposition with nature deepens his impression. He reflects on the impact of time and nature's dominance over human creations. The image of jungle-clad ruins serves as a reminder of the impermanence of human achievements, creating a sense of melancholy and humility. Additionally, the writer's experience of a storm during his temple visit emphasizes nature's overwhelming power, leaving a lasting impression of the site's vulnerability to the forces of the environment. In the end, the writer's departure from Angkor leaves him with a poignant impression. As he looks back at the once thriving city now surrounded by vibrant jungle, he feels a profound sense of silence and solitude. This final impression encapsulates the passage of time, the cycle of rise and decline, and the enduring presence of nature. The writer's mind is imprinted with a blend of wonder, humility, and the recognition of human transience, offering a nuanced and layered impression of Angkor's magnificence and its connection with the world around it. 6. The author writes, "The peasant with his immemorial usages belongs to an age far more ancient than Angkor Wat, the Great Wall of China, or the pyramids of Egypt." Explain. In this poignant statement, the author emphasizes the enduring connection between the peasant's way of life and ancient traditions, highlighting their intrinsic link to a past that predates even the most iconic architectural marvels of human history like Angkor Wat, the Great Wall of China, and the pyramids of Egypt. The author's assertion underscores the notion that while these architectural wonders are celebrated for their historical significance and grandeur, they are comparatively recent developments in the timeline of human existence. Angkor Wat, constructed in the 12th century, the Great Wall of China, built over centuries, and the pyramids of Egypt, dating back to around 2600 BC, may be marvels of engineering and cultural heritage, but they represent relatively more recent human achievements compared to the age-old practices of the peasant. The immemorial usages of the peasant allude to deeply rooted customs and ways of life that have been passed down through generations, forming an unbroken chain of tradition. These practices encompass various aspects of daily life, including agricultural techniques, rituals, social structures, and cultural norms. The author's intention is to elevate the significance of these seemingly ordinary practices, by suggesting that they embody the essence of human history, harking back to a time before monumental structures like Angkor Wat and the pyramids even existed. By contrasting the longevity of the peasant's traditions with the temporal nature of architectural creations, the author underscores the profound continuity of human culture through ages. The passage of time has seen the rise and fall of empires, the construction of architectural marvels, and the evolution of societies. However, the steadfast adherence to immemorial usages by the peasant speaks to an unbroken thread of heritage that transcends time and monumental achievements. In essence, the author's statement serves as a reminder that the true essence of humanity's history is not solely captured in monumental structures, but also in the living traditions of everyday people. The peasant, with his age-old practices, becomes a living link to an ancient past that predates even the most renowned historical landmarks, embodying the spirit of continuity, resilience, and the enduring nature of human culture. Best of luck.